Welcome to Backstage Pass on the Boise Beat. Today we're speaking with Sam Henry, a multi-talent in the world of music. And Sam, he's not only the lead vocalist for a particular band that we're going to get jumping into here in just a minute, but he's also carving out his own formidable solo project as well in career. And so we're excited to get him to jump on here, share a little bit about his background, songwriting process, what he's becoming known for, and a whole lot more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Backstage Pass on the Boise Beat. Today we are welcoming a good friend, Sam Henry. Might have caught him around town a little bit here and there. He's known for not only featuring in the band known as Jukebox, but he's also carving out a solo career himself. Super talented individual. Stoked to get him on board here and just talk shop about music, talk all things about Sam Henry. So, good morning. What's happening,
Good
Sam? How
morning,
you doing?
Gordie. How are you, man?
Good. Fabulous. Thanks for jumping on here with me. Appreciate you taking the
Absolutely.
time here.
Honored to be on your show.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Hey, I want to start off by, as I mentioned, you are one of the many, because you guys got a pretty good entourage that rolls with the band known
Mhm.
as Jukebox, right? Can you
Right?
share with me the story behind kind of how that band came about and kind of how you stepped in to doing what you're doing? Because you're playing a couple different roles within that band.
Absolutely. So my journey with Jukebox began back in October. Um, I was heading up the Sam Henry Band for 2 years. We started that in 2021. We released an album, a six-song original EP.
Uh-huh.
Released that, had some success with it, and after 2 years with the Sam Henry Band, I decided it was time to move on. So I reached out to Jukebox, and I'd had previous contact with them. I'm like, I want to try something different. And what you guys do looks like a lot of fun.
Uh-huh.
So I reached out to my friend and mentor John Pisano, and he founded Jukebox 14 years ago in California,
Oh,
San Diego, and brought it up here more recently.
okay.
And so I reached out to him. I'm like, hey, are you guys looking for any sort of support? I'll sing backups. I'll play guitar. I'll play a support role, whatever you need me to do.
Uh-huh.
And he was like, well, good timing. Actually, our male lead vocalist, I should clarify, there are 4 lead vocalists in
Uh-huh.
Jukebox, gives us the freedom to cover just about anything. So we can cover everything from Whitney Houston to
Mm,
Luke Bryan,
yeah.
and
Because that'd be
everything.
hard to do if you had to hit some Whitney Houston notes yourself, huh?
Yeah, I'd prefer not to myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I reached out to John, and he was like, good timing because our male lead vocal, Diego, is on his way out. He's leaving. He's done 2 years and moving on to other ventures. So went in, auditioned, loved the band. Apparently they liked me. And so they're like, yep, come back, do another audition. And then it was, okay, do a gig with us. So I sang 4 songs at this particular gig in Sun Valley, sort of as an orientation process.
Sure.
And then it just went on from there. So first I was only singing, then I was playing guitar. And then they're like, oh, do you play piano? And I was like, I will. I'll figure it out. So anyway, that's
Wow,
been the last couple months with Jukebox. It's been a hell of a experience. It's been
I
awesome.
bet. Yeah,
Mhm.
but that sounds like a fun ride where you can be able to mesh in with a bunch of group of musicians and artists that, they wear these different hats and you're able to cover all kinds of music. So that's phenomenal. How would you say that the experience of being with this particular group has influenced what you're doing on the solo front? How's that impacted it?
Yes. So my solo career is also very important to me, and whenever I'm not gigging with Jukebox, I'm gigging myself or with my
Uh-huh.
friend or with my other friend or with lots of people. So I try to keep my sphere of influence, all people that are better than me, people
Yeah.
that are gonna pull me up. So my solo shtick is pretty collaborative.
Okay.
Um, but as far as how Jukebox has influenced it, um, I would say, I mean, it just enhanced my musicianship.
Uh-huh.
Every rehearsal, every, you know, personal rehearsal, every prep work minute that I put into Jukebox also helps me with my solo shtick as well.
Yeah.
Because every song you learn, I like to say you learn a specific, you know, toolkit. And then
Yeah.
that toolkit can be applied to a million other songs. And so every song I learned for Jukebox, every vocal trick I learned for
Yeah.
Jukebox can be easily applied. Even I'm borrowing songs from their set
Wow.
because why not? You know, they pick good
Yeah.
songs.
That's cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's up. You're able to leverage a whole lot, it sounds like, from
Hmm.
this kind of of a collaboration. Earlier you mentioned this connect that you had as somebody of a mentor that you had reached out to, right, and connected you with the band initially. Um,
Hmm.
what would you say is the value in finding the right mentors, especially in this particular industry? Because I don't talk to particularly a whole lot of people who say they've got a mentor or somebody that they can go to and reach out to for advice and counsel and insight and, wisdom that have gone before them, etcetera. Like, talk to me about the value you would say in having somebody like that to go to.
Yes, for me it's huge. I've always had some sort of a coach, whether it's for guitar, whether it's for vocals, for piano playing. I try to surround myself with people with more life experience that have been through what I'm going through,
Yeah.
and that also have what I want. As
Mhm.
whether it's guitar chops,
Yeah.
um, or
That's
business
good.
sense, anything like that. I don't know where it came from, but I heard a quote. Um, only listen to people, only take advice from people who have what you want in the future. So I try
Mhm.
to find people who have what I want, whether it's musical or anything else, and I'll
Yeah.
just pick their brain. And
Yeah.
you can ask them. I'm probably a bit of a pest sometimes, but I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah. That's
So
okay. Yeah, if
yeah.
you're hungry for it, you gotta go after it, right? So,
Hmm.
yeah, you're showcasing that, no doubt. With you have to obviously have a pretty, I'd say, I don't wanna call it hectic per se, but you have a schedule that demands a lot of your attention, right, between juggling, playing with this group of Jukebox, and
Yeah.
then your own solo endeavor. How do you balance and say, "Hey, I need to put 20% of my effort over here.
Hmm.
I need to put in 80% of my effort over here." I mean, does that ever mesh and collide and not work out? Like, how do you balance working out such a schedule?
You know what, Gordie? I ask myself that every day.
Yeah,
So yeah, life can be a little haphazard sometimes. As a scatterbrained creative, I'll be from one thing to the next. Some days I won't have time to practice piano, or I won't make time manage my time properly.
uh-huh,
Sometimes I won't have time to practice vocals, but you know, it all works out. And I look at the schedule. I'm like, okay, what do we got this weekend? What do we got the next weekend? And then I'll sort of schedule my prep work around, you know, the stuff to come.
okay,
And yeah, so as far as balancing, ask any of my friends. I'm a little all over the place, but you know, somehow it always works out. And
yeah,
somehow, yeah, you find what you need for every specific show. I've never had a show to where, you know, adrenaline hasn't kicked in. You know, the
uh-huh,
forces that be help me, like, give me what it takes to do that show. But yeah, it can be a chaotic ride sometimes with this many gigs, this many different types of songs.
sure,
But you know, I wouldn't have it any other way.
yeah, no, I bet, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And thinking of you going from working with the Sam Henry Band, taking a little bit of a hiatus, jumping into Jukebox, jumping into, you know, coordinating a solo career, etcetera.
Hmm.
What was your, like, motivation, or what was the main driver behind saying, "Okay, I'm ready to now branch out over here into this lane and kickstart this solo venture"? What would you say that
Yes.
is?
No, the solo venture has been around. I've been playing my guitar and singing in public since probably 2016, 2017.
Oh, wow.
So that's only I'm constantly trying to improve the solo show.
Uh-huh.
And that comes from watching other artists, watching YouTube videos, that kind of thing. But to get back to your question, the solo venture, that's where I express my original music, because I'm also a writer.
Uh-huh.
And that is so that's where I'll get to express those songs. Sometimes 50% of the set, sometimes
Mm.
the whole set. I have venues that ask me specifically to play covers, and venues that specifically ask me to play originals.
Uh-huh.
And I love both. You know, it stretches
Yeah.
me, and I also love expressing my originals.
Yeah.
So the solo shtick has always been there. It'll always be there, and it can always be built onto, whether it's a solo, a duo. Actually, Sam Henry Band 2.0 this summer coming up as well.
Nice.
Put a band together as well to gig whenever we can. It's
Yeah.
going to be a good summer.
Yeah, that's what's up. Talk to me about the songwriting process, for those that are just getting tuned into the fact that you're a songwriter. Um, what is that process like for you to pen some new
Yes.
tracks, and what is that typically like? What do you lean towards the most when you're putting stuff together? Is it about, relationships? Is it about just life in general? Is it about, cigars and whiskey? Like, what do you typically lean towards?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
All of
Yeah.
the
There's a
above.
little bit of everything. I would say the most inspiring, the thing that'll actually inspire me to sit down and write a song, like when I have nothing else, when there's nothing else to do, when I'm at rock bottom, is either a hard knock in life or a
Uh-huh.
hard knock in a relationship. Um, for whatever reason, when you're on top of the world, when everything's going well, the
Uh-huh.
last thing I want to do is slow down and be by myself for a couple hours long enough to write a song.
Yeah.
Um, so it's those hard knocks, and I've had a few of them,
Sure.
that will actually force me to get intimate with the notebook, with the
Yeah.
piano,
Uh-huh.
with the guitar. And yeah, so for me, the songwriting process is super raw, super based on personal experience. And I aspire to be able to write like a Taylor Swift, who,
Mhm.
was on MySpace communicating with fans,
Right.
um, and taking their life experience and putting them into her songs that they could relate to. So I
Mhm.
aspire to write like that. But for now, the thing that will actually get me to write a better song is something I've personally walked through.
Gotcha. So
Hmm.
in that lane, thinking about it, because you, amongst everybody else, I think one of the things that you're touching on is the common denominator that we all go through stuff. Like, that's not uncommon to man, right? We go through stuff, and it's like, how do you deal with that? How do you package that? In your sense, you use it to create music, to create an art form, to create something that you get to share with people that can connect with it and resonate with. But in this walk as a musician and being a part of different bands, you obviously had to have gone through some things that have challenged you. Maybe at one point in time, made you question whether you should continue doing it. Um, Talk to me about that. About, you don't have to go into all the specifics, but talk to me about a moment where you ran into a challenge like that, where it was questioning whether or not you're going to continue doing this, and how you overcame that and what you did.
Hmm. Yes. Which one?
Yeah.
Which one should I talk about? I'm going to be super honest with you, Gordie. I was a couple of years ago, 2020, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder.
Mm.
And I've done some research on that. It's been a wild ride getting, medications, lifestyle figured out to
Uh-huh.
adapt. But you know what? I wouldn't have that any other way, because you look at famous entrepreneurs, famous musicians, some of the most creative people in the world have been diagnosed with bipolar.
Mm.
So for me, experiences that have, really gotten me to question, okay, what am I doing here? What is this music thing? How's it going to fit in?
Yeah.
Has been through that. So when I say those hard knocks, that's what I'm referring to,
Yeah.
um, or part of it. And I would say those experiences, those bouts with mental health crises have really forced me to get, um, super serious with myself, super introspective. And,
Uh-huh.
I remember this one time there was a couple days coming up before a show, and I was not ready.
Mm.
Um, I was not ready at all. But you know what? Pulled myself up and played the show. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I'm born for.
Mm.
Amidst all the chaos in life, the
Yeah.
chaos that comes with being a singer songwriter, creative type, this is what I'm born for. Um, and that's what I've decided. That's what I've told myself. So that's why I gig so much. This is my life. It's my profession. It's my passion. And that's it's always been there for me. It's been my biggest therapist.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for the transparency on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It reminds me of, you kind of tapping back into this space of knowing who you are, right? Like this whole identity
Yeah.
factor, which is really tough for many people. But when you know who you are, it makes it a little bit easier to go through the things that you got to go through because you remember that, like you said, you're built for this. This is what you were
Yes.
designed for. So how are you going to give up on that? You can't.
Hmm.
Phenomenal. What's one of the biggest things you're looking forward to this year? You kind of dropped a few things that you're looking forward to in 2024 with getting 2.0, Sam Henry 2.0 out in front of
Hmm.
audiences. But what's one of the other things that you're looking forward to this year the most?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. So, actually, 2024 is going to be a big year for our original music.
Nice.
In 2 weeks, actually less than 2 weeks, my friend and partner in music crime are heading to San Diego to a studio called Big Fish Studios to record 6 more original songs. It's going to be an acoustic EP with very little percussion, very
Oh,
little, ornamentation.
uh-huh.
So the two of us are going to head down there, send the finished product off to our producer from the previous album, who now lives in Japan. He's going to do post production,
Sweet.
add a little percussion here and there. But we got some big dates coming up. So June 30th, we're going to be releasing the entire project. We'll release a few singles prior to that.
Sweet.
But yeah, just to share with you a little bit of the schedule coming up. So March 11th and 12th
Hmm.
is recording dates. We'll record these 6 more songs. March 19th, photography. So we'll shoot the album photos, the album cover, the singles covers, and promotional photos as well. And then April's going to be a month of getting it all together, organizing all the pieces, and then June 30th is going to be our big day. So we got a release party coming up at Rembrandt's and Eagle.
Oh,
I
sweet. I
saw
was
you
just
guys
there.
covered them. I saw you guys covered them on the website. That's so cool.
Yeah.
They've been longtime friends. So, anyways, we just signed the paperwork for the venue, and we're going to be able to sell about 100 tickets.
Nice.
So it's going to be a quiet, intimate party, but it's going to be a heck of a concert. We're also collaborating with Joseph Lyle, incredible guitarist and vocalist in the Valley. So he'll be at our party, and it's going to be a big shindig. So we're
Yeah.
stoked.
That's what's up. Sounds like it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
For those that are listening in right now, where can they find you online and connect with you via social, site, etc.?
Yes. So Instagram, I'm big on Instagram. That's my favorite social media platform. So Sam Henry _music. Pretty simple, just SAMHENRY _music.
That's what's up.
Facebook, Sam Henry Music, no underscore. And then actually, website will launch June 30th as well.
Okay.
So yeah, but for now it's the socials, and you can find links off to Spotify there. There's music on Spotify under Sam Henry Band. And yeah, you'll find all that on the Instagram page.
Sweet. Yeah, thank you, Sam. I appreciate you joining us and giving us your time, sharing a little bit of insight. It's been a pleasure.